Today, on how it's automated. Smart plating. Smart plating are plates that are smart. They are used in everything from space station armor to black hole gravitation protection. They are a part of project part number 1 and are to be shipped with the space elevator to complete phases of project assembly. Fixit is in great demand of smart plating because of their wide range of use. So, let's see how it's automated. To begin automating smart plates, a pioneer will scout out a local iron node. Pioneers start by analyzing a node to determine its composition or quality using little bots. Hey little guy, don't get lost in there. Once the purity meets requirements, a more permanent miner is placed and connected to power. Wave belts have become the new standard for transporting ore to the destination. In this instance, it is a short trip to the first processing stage. Here the iron ore is smelted into little bundles of purified iron that have many uses. Lifts are used in this manner to prevent the desert sands from building up on exposed items. The ingots are lift belted across a small bridge to their next processing stage. Here, they are pressed out inside constructor buildings into perfectly square plates known as 2D, FE. From here the plates are belted off for further processing as they just aren't quite smart enough here. But before we show the next stage, a few more items are needed. So let's see where the remaining iron ingots go. Only the extra hard ingots follow this line. They slowly move their way across this bridge to their destination. This bridge contains at least 6 suspension wires if I had to guess. Here more constructor buildings convert the extra hard ingots into iron rods with another quick stamp of the hydraulics. The amount of pressure needed to squish the ingots into perfectly round rods is 8.3066 squared. Remember, show your work or you don't get credit. Also keep in mind there are no lifeguards on duty, so venturing into the water will result in immediate death, and Fixit does not tolerate damage to the pioneer suit. Next, some of the iron rods did not show their work and are split off to be used elsewhere. Here, and you guessed it viewer, more constructor buildings are used to cut the iron rods up into our favorite thing, screws. Bolts maybe? Rivets? Maybe Fixit will settle this debate one day. As for the blue containers, they are also made from the rods but only the ones that failed the test. Some of the screws are split out to be used in the next 2 items, one of which being the iron plates. One line of screws meets up with our long-lost friends, the 2 DFE iron plates. In these assembler buildings, the plates are screwed together with robotic arms to form an old classic, reinforced iron plate. This plate is thicker than a standard iron plate, and thick is spelled with at least 3 C's. The output belts need to be configured this way to use up any extra empty space. And a Fixit awesome shop is here for that quick snack for those on-the-go pioneers. The extra thick plates are then belted to the final stage as one of the components for the smart plates. Let's see where the other line of screws go first. Here the remaining screws meet up with the remaining iron rods in more assembler buildings. Here the rods are molded to various parts that when screwed together, make rotors. The pioneer we interviewed said sometimes it's just best to not know how they work. Just know that it does, and that Fixit puts the fun in functional. The rotors exit the machines and have to be inspected for quality assurance below. Highly trained quality assurance technicians work diligently to ensure only the highest quality rotors are accepted. Be sure not to leave a jetpack lying around as for what happened last time. They can only inspect, not fly a jetpack as seen from CCTV footage from another factory elsewhere. Have to give the little guy credit for bravery with no thumbs. Reports indicate it was a very graceful flight. Now that the rotors have been properly inspected, they are belted across a long bridge along with the reinforced iron plates to the final stage. But we are still missing plastic, so let's see how the plastic is produced on the other side of the factory. Here we are, on the other side of the factory. In this location, oil is abundant and ready for harvesting via an oil extractor. You know it's an oil extractor because of the way it is. How neat is that? Just remember, do not pet the burbs in this area. You will lose a hand. The local park ranger tells us to steer clear of them. Once the oil is pumped up to the small refinery station, it is then very carefully piped into each building. Inside each refinery, the oil is exposed to boiling temperatures until all that is left is a solid blue plastic. The remaining purple goo is piped away to a safe location as it can explode if exposed to the air. Here, the heavy oil residue is stored until it can be further processed. Water is pumped in but then split into hydrogen and oxygen. The oxygen is released into the air but the hydrogen is dissolved inside the heavy oil residue in a blender to create an even more combustible liquid called orange fuel. It is named after the fruit and not the color because the fuel smells of pure citrusy goodness. Just like your dorm room before inspection. Here at this facility is also an emergency dock for emergencies. Boats aren't allowed here, so I am not sure why this is here. But there is an emergency escape drone that is ready to go at least. In the event there is a fire, all personnel at this station are to evacuate to the drone station. Fix-It does not want the Pioneer suits damaged in a fire. The orange fuel is then further pumped away as it is 3.1415926% more explosive than heavy oil residue. Here, the fuel is safely burned in fuel generators to provide power to the whole facility. Remember, wear sunscreen. And now back to the plastic. Any extra plastic is then compressed down so it saves space in your pockets. The main line of plastic is routed over the longest suspension bridge yet to reach its final destination. Yep, still going. Here, the rotors, reinforced iron plates, and plastic are manufactured inside of manufacturer buildings to manufacture manufactured smart plating. It takes a lot of effort and steps to get to this point, but with the demand for smart plates being so high, Fix-It spares no expense except Pioneer lives. The smart plating are then routed via a long harrowing journey to its next destination. Here, they arrive at the space elevator where they are distributed to all Fix-It controlled space. The storage containers hold them until the elevator is able to return. And that is how smart plating is automated. Smart plating aren't actually smart, but just a really great composite material for anything spacefaring. One could say that it is quite riveting. Thank you all for your contributions and suggestions. If you want to see more or just like this episode, be sure to hit that thumbs up as it helps recommend the video to others. If you want to see more how it's automated, be sure to check out the entire playlist of episodes. This was our 10th episode and more are on the way. So as always, stay efficient, pioneers.